So video 6 in the home business video training series is probably where it starts to get more difficult for people to understand, and this is the part that's super important. So we'll just dive straight in and have some fun with this now. So your content, which obviously goes inside the main body of your website or your web page, is singularly the most important thing that you can have in there to draw the human eye and to impress the search engines. All the graphics and all the other stuff around it play no part in attracting search engines. They're just there for the human eye. And so the content must be able to do two things. It must be able to keep the human eye occupied. It must keep them interested. And it must keep the search engines happy by having certain keywords and a certain layout in order to make that website do what it's supposed to do within the search engines. And so we need to impress both people. And there are some things that we need to do in order to impress those people, which we'll go straight to now on a simple notepad. So writing content is a science, but it's not a difficult science if you follow the most basic rules of providing decent content for the search engines and the human eye. And this is based on emotion as it is on anything else. It's not new, it's been around since the beginning of time. The greatest way to get better at writing good content is to read good content. But basically, the body copy, your content, your article, your post, the words within it, need to have certain things within them to impress the search engines and keep the human eye occupied. So we obviously need the keyword that lets the search engines and the human know what it is that page is about. It needs to have a heading. It needs to have a subheading. It needs to have something bold, something italic, something underlined, an anchor text, and internal backlinks. That internal backlink, that anchor text, that underlined, that italic, that bold, that subheadline, and that headline all need to contain one thing. The same keyword here, okay? Needs to contain that same keyword. That's vital. We need a heading, which you will see people talking as a H1 tag. That's important. That tells the search engines instantly what we expect them to understand this page is about. It needs subheadings. It needs to refer to that keyword somewhere down the page into paragraphs. That keyword should be bold at least once. It should be italic at least once. It should be underlined at least once. It should contain an anchor text once, and there should be an internal backlink going from that page to another page within your website with the same keyword, with the same set of instructions. Okay, so it needs to link to it to give more reference to what it is you're doing, and we'll show you that on a page right now, just so it doesn't sound too complicated, because this is simple if you just follow this same old technique. And of course, it needs to contain an external backlink or external backlinks. And that's a little bit more complicated in how you do that. So I'm going to show you some real tips and tricks and ways to make this external backlink create more power for you without you giving away any serious juice, which will be a different video. But I want you to reference that, and I want you to understand that you need to follow that same video for the external backlink. So here we have a typical article. This article was written for me by one of my outsourcers, by a writer that I use quite often. And the keyword that I gave him was honest home business. Okay, so that's the keyword that we're working on. So if we just take a quick look at this article, we'll just do some small changes without it getting too complicated. So the first thing I said was we need the keyword. So that's the keyword, honest home business. Then we need to make sure that we turn that keyword into a heading, which would be the H1 tag. And all H1 tags, or all headings as much as possible, should start right at the beginning. There, okay? This is called a stop word. This wouldn't cause much problem to this. But nevertheless, you should always try, if you can, to have your heading, your headline, your H1 tag begin the sentence like that. Okay, honest own business, and then from there you would decide if you were to continue with a sentence to make that longer, or whether you would leave it like that. Now, in terms of keyword strength, the less amount of words that you have in your heading, the more likely you are to score high for that keyword. If you are going to include an extra set of words, then the more words you put in, the more you should reference this keyword again, or words like this again further down the sentence. Okay, we're just going to take this now, and this would be a H1 tag. Okay, so it'd be bold. We would then take the keyword again, and we would want that keyword as a subheading. We would want that keyword to appear in paragraphs. We would want to break this content down into more readable chunks. And so we would make our way down, and we would start to play. And we would try and break this article into smaller chunks as we go down. And as we progress, we need to be sure of a few things. We need to be sure that we give reference to the keyword. We need to be sure that we attract the human eye by using our bolds, by using our italics. We need to make sure that all these are in place before the article goes live. Now, this may seem like a crazy thing, or why would you want to do that? And I'm not here on this particular demonstration to explain to you the ins and outs of what it is that writers should do, or what the search engines want. Okay, it's a really simple system. You just have to continue doing it. You just have to make sure that you put all those things in that they want. And so if you're going to bold and italic and underline your keywords and your content, it makes absolute sense to make sure that that's that same keyword there. Okay, whatever keyword you're working on. And so as you go down, there are things that you need to have. Okay, I would use this as a headline and this as a sub-headline, quite simply. You could take this and make this as your italic. Okay. You would then add that keyword rich inside it all the way through, and the anchor text. So I'm just going to pause so we don't bore you with the whole process, and just make a couple of changes and then show you those changes and why we've done that, and then it'll make more sense to you. So I've spent like 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds just doing this really quickly, just to give you an understanding of what you need to do in the beginning. Okay, there's still more things I need doing, some images and some videos on board, do the search engines a lot of good, and do your human eye a lot of good. So we start at the top, which would be a H1 tag. Honest on business, we would have a subheading, which would be a H2 tag, which would use exactly the same keywords and give some reference. Other things that you can add, again, we've included another bold. This doesn't have to be a heading, this can just be a bold, and we've included some bullet points. Okay, there are other good things. And as you go down, we're going to flash it first, because believe it or not, people who read articles usually flash through and then see if they're interested in something, and then it'll come back. The search engines don't. They start at the top and they make their way down as they're supposed to. So a human eye would pick this up, see the headline, would decide if he thought he was interested in that, would push down the page, would be stopped instantly by the headlines that you see in bolds, same as the bullet points, would start to see some links, would then flash back up and start reading. And that's what you're trying to aim for. You're trying to aim to keep that person on that page for as long as possible. And so as we go down the page, we'll also see that we've broken the paragraphs into something smaller. We've underlined, as we said we would, and we've also included an internal link within the content of our body, which is something that the search engines absolutely adore. And that there would link to an inner page of the same website. Okay, and then we go down, we see our italic. We could have bolded that if we wanted to. It depends on what you're trying to promote, whether you want to push it hard or not. We've just given a nice simple italic there. And as we come to the bottom of the article, we fired in one more headline using our keyword again, or an LSI, a keyword that means the same thing but slightly different. And then we include the link. This would be an internal or an external link, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Again, this link would be keywords rich. We're after honest home business as our keyword. And we've included a couple of keywords for the human eye. And they would click that and it would take them to an internal or an external page, depending on what you're trying to achieve, your call to action. And so those are the things that all content should have in them to keep everybody happy, both search engines and the human eye. And that's really important. And I'm just going to run this article through a keyword analyzer so you can see where that keyword is, how it shows up, if it's relative, and if it's long enough, if it's in there enough. Basically, your content should do this. It should be strong on the keywords as you first come in. And so the first 90 characters should definitely contain your keyword. Obviously, the further it is to the front, the more likely it is to be strong. It should be strong when you go in, which is the beginning. And then as we go into the middle of the copy, it should gently slow itself down. And we should be using other keywords like we've used genuine business online there. So we don't have to keep forcing the keyword honest home business. We could use home business success. We could use 6 or 7 different LSIs. But basically, as we go into the middle of the content, we start to pull away the keyword and start to give the content. And we just give reference every now and again, like we've done it here. Okay, we've had 3 paragraphs without it, and we've done it there, and we've included a link to keep everybody happy, just in case the human eye has seen enough and he wants more and he wants to go on, or he needs information specifically to another keyword. Again, we're using LSI to do that, which we talk about in another video. Okay, and then we would add some images to this, which we'll do soon after we run it through the analyzer, and you'll get a better look of how that page looks on our actual website. But they are the basic understandings of what you should do at all times with your content if you want the search engines to pick it up fast, if you want them to be happy with what you've written. So for these demonstration purposes, I've quickly taken the article we've just seen and run it through a keyword density tool. This actual one I'm using is called Word Flood and was designed to change your articles, to spin them. Now, stop keywords are something you may have heard of, which we'll talk again later. Stop keywords are words that people use too much of, and so the search engines ignore them, and you can see there's 4.86% of the word "the" here, which we would obviously take out once we've analysed that better. Most writers use that keyword. It's not the end of the world, but this is obviously what the spiders see as they come in. So obviously the most important words for us would be business, home, and honest, because they're the 2 keywords we're after: honest, home, business. This is showing up just over 2%, nearly 3%, 2.5%, and 1.8%. You need to aim for somewhere between 2 and 4% of the keyword, the main keyword of the LSI. So that's in there just, and that's not quite in there. So a small couple of adjustments to that would make that much better. And this is not an analyzing tool you need to waste too much time with. We've quickly picked up that. We're not worried about the rest. We're just trying to pick up the business, the home, and the honest. Okay, which it does. It does need a tiny little bit more work. You can see that straight away, but we just need to add a keyword maybe 1 or 2 more times, which we could do with links or by adding another paragraph. So I've spent another 60 seconds, 90 seconds just adding a couple of images, adding another keyword, trying to make it look a little bit better. Images do 2 things. One, they keep the human eye occupied, give them something to look at, something to be more focused on and maybe more interested in. And for the search engines, we can do an alt tag. In other words, we can use this image here to help improve our keyword. Another great way to get a keyword in, because the keyword we use here can be used as an alternative text for this image, because search engines cannot read images. They can only read words. And so we could say image of honest home business. Or we could say honest home business JPEG, or honest home business image, okay, or whatever keyword you're searching for. And so again, when the human eye is looking and the person comes in, they tend to start at the top, read the headline, and just have a little flash. And as they go down, they see some images, some links, content, bold, italic, everything that they need in order to keep them interested, and then they'll read the content. So you can quickly see that just adding some simple things to content not only makes it look better and more formatted and more professional, but it gives the human eye something to look at so they don't get too bored quickly, because people are skimmers, okay? And the search engines would be extremely happy with this article, exactly as you see it. All is done well for everybody. You need to do that exact same thing for yourself every time you write an article. So there you have it, content in a nutshell. Really simple. As long as you use your keywords, your headline, your subheadline, your bolds, your italics, your links, your internal and your external, then you'll never go wrong. Add some images, some videos, make sure you alt tag them, and you're on the road to success. Really simple. Don't overanalyze content. Don't be scared of it. Now, if you'd like to get some more free training, if you'd like to get access to John's treasure chest of free gold, where you get video courses, reports, ebooks, business training, advice, software, tools, coaching free by me, and the concluding part of all the videos that you see on this webpage today, then I highly recommend you join. It's a password protected website. There is no cost to you, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. It's a place that will become a great place for beginners to actually keep their hand in their pocket, keep their money in their wallet, but learn at the same time. It's a great place, and I highly recommend you join. You just click the link. There'll be a small video that shows you what to do. You register and you'll be inside, and it really is that easy. If you're on a sharing site and watching this video like YouTube or one of its competitors, just go to the search engines, type in the word honest home business. You will locate the website, or type in the address bar honesthomebusiness.com. You'll find the same website. Get over there, check out these videos, get on this free training, get coached, make money, do it for free, and I'll see you on the other side. And thank you for watching.